Hey, good morning. It's Dave Lockwood with Demolition, and as we continue on the journey, the exciting things that are going on, I just don't know how to put this into words. I kind of went to bed early last night so I can get an early start again. Today is the day that I do meetings for the shop. Every Thursday, and so I'm trying to get a bunch of stuff done before I go to that meeting. Yesterday was kind of broke up a little bit, so I'm just trying to get a little more done. So we are. I'm going to overuse this term, but I'm super excited about this. So the search engine optimization that we started doing. I'm following a guy on YouTube, and his company's Rankability, Nathan Gotch is his name, I believe. And some of the information that he is providing is just mind-blowing. For example, this one statistic, which I haven't run across this yet, but 97% of all searching websites get 0% organic activity. That's going to be my thumbnail for this, but 97% get 0% organic searches. Okay? Do you realize what that means? That is so huge. What it means is most of the time, whoever you're competing against, and I'm not talking about, let's say if you're in the makeup business. If you're in the makeup business and you are competing for dominant keywords in the makeup business, you are going to have a lot of competition. It's going to be off the chain, okay? If you're in other things like that are wildly popular, to say gym shoes, and let's say t-shirts, stuff like that. But for me, for a demolition company, and really this only applies to what I am doing, I have basically probably 10 competitors, probably have 20 kind of competitors, and most of them they're not SEO'd very well. Now I seem to have 2 in my marketplace, or maybe 3 that are fairly decent SEO'd. I'm not sure about that. I'm trying every day. I'm working a little bit more and more on this stuff. I'm working through SEMrush, Wincher, and we're working through Yoast to apply this stuff to our site. And so far, primarily all we're doing is we're posting on our own site, and we are getting ranked very good. I opened up my browser this morning, and I started very early this morning. I went to bed very early. Sorry. So, guys, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. Okay, that's I'm kind of ate up, just so you know. I am got a lot to do every day, and getting a really early start, and I love what I do at a level that is probably hard to fully explain, and I find this is a pretty common thing watching other guys on YouTube who are doing stuff like I'm doing. So basically, I have a lot of knowledge. I have a lot of things that we run our companies and stuff on. We've made some really significant gains in our holdings, and we started all over after the housing crash. And when I talk about I'm talking about me, my son, and then a friend of ours, Taylor and Gordon, and the 3 of us. We basically worked this business like crazy people for a long time, starting with picking up stuff off the side of the street, cleaning out foreclosure houses, squatting in houses in Cape Coral to keep our costs down, and basically starting the junk removal business to just get enough money to survive was the first goal. And then I realized that we were getting a lot of traction and gains through that. Ultimately, we went into the demolition business, and we have like 5 or 6 different, we call it multiple streams of income. You probably, if you've read stuff about, if you've read different self-help books, they'll talk about that quite a bit. So here we're at. We're going into our next multiple stream of income. So basically, we have very specific niche knowledge on how to do the junk removal business, and not just to do the junk removal business, but to do it a different way, the way that we've done it. And the junk removal business for us was a way just to get stuff that we could resell. The demolition business, which came in and showed up, it just showed up one day because people kept asking us the same questions. So what we're doing is we're out doing junk removals, and when we get done with the junk removal and we're sweeping up and collecting our payment, it's like, hey, who do you know takes out tile? Who do you know that takes out kitchens? Who do you know that takes out bathrooms? Who do you know that does this? Who do you know that? And after a while, I started telling Logan, who was, teenager at the time, I said, I think this might be a business. So one day I bought a truck, and it was a pool truck, a pool company's truck, and it had low miles on it, and the bed was rusted off, and it had actually rusted through the frame a little bit. So I bought that for $600. It was about a $10,000 or $12,000 vehicle, but it was in bad shape. So I had somebody re-weld the frame, put it back together. The bed was ate up from chlorine. I redid the bed, or I bought another bed. We bolted the bed on. We repaired the frame. I took it to Geico, had it all painted white, and I traded that for a work truck, a work truck with a big work bed on it. Basically, it's a gigantic toolbox with a place in the middle, and it had a lift on it, and I traded it for that. So that truck, I put that we take out kitchens and baths, that we take up tile, that we do junk removal, we do hot tub removals, stuff like that. I put that all over the truck. And honestly, I thought that people were going to laugh me out of town. I really did. Because where I came from in the economic, I grew up poor, not poor in the sense that we really never, we struggle for food at times. My parents were able to handle it. My aunts and uncles and stuff like that helped out. We did get to that point a few times. My dad jumped around a lot in jobs. He was just he's a great man, but that never went and tried and got in and became anybody. He was fooled by his lack of education, and he was fooled by my mom, who held him back. She basically had more limitations. I've met a lot of people. I have never met, I don't like using big terms like that, but I haven't met many people that have as many limitations as my mom did, okay? My mom and I had World War III going on nonstop, because the things that I went into or got into and stuff like that, she, if it was out of her comfort zone, which most things were, she figured they were illegal, or you shouldn't be doing them, or that's not right, or whatever. And it was just, it's ridiculous. Now, my mom had responsibilities at a very young age, where she took care of my special needs aunt from a very young age, because her parents were alcoholics and living in the bars, and they were living in the slums. and they had a bunch of kids, and they did look for food constantly. She had dealt with a lot, so I give her grace in that. She smoked herself to death. She smoked one cigarette after the other until she killed herself. It was terrible, just terrible to see. I brought it up to her one time, and she got very, very mad at me. And it's sad because I could hear the gurgling of the liquid in her lungs. It was so sad. Okay, back to what we were talking about. So basically what I did is, that's how we ran across this business, okay? Okay, so we're doing junk removals and people start talking about this other business. Now, the junk removal business by itself is an easy business to love. If I talk to a lot of people, I'm talking to a lady who's an author. And authors are, writers are a lot like real estate agents in the sense that they have hit or miss business, okay? They have, it's feast or famine. Well, what happens if you're a feast or famine, and this is part of how I got more involved in the junk removal business as well, is I would go into houses all the time where we're selling the house and it's full of stuff that they don't want. And most of the time you're just stacking all that stuff up neatly in the garage and not doing anything with it. And then you're sitting there thinking as a realtor, gosh, I could sell that stuff and make some money, and you're broke. A lot of times you're broke. For me, I just outspent what I was making, and it's only because I wasn't making enough money. I don't outspend what I make now. I live within my means, but I also have a significant income. So think about where I started from. 97% have 0% SEO optimization. So if you listen to Gary Vee, and what I'm doing is, my new gurus are guys that are all coming through YouTube. Okay, the gurus that I learned things from in the past were, the ones that come to mind are, Tony Robbins, Brian Tracy, Zig Ziglar. I wish I could remember all the other names. But before I was 25 or 6, I'd read 200 books on how to become successful. Okay, so I was a sponge. I was doing this from a young age. When I got out of the military, I was absolutely determined that I wanted to live off the market, which to me means if I kick butt, I make good money, and if I don't kick butt, then I don't make any money, which is, I like it. I like the fact that I get paid off of my results. If you get a little bit of results, you get a little bit of reward. You get a lot of results, you get a lot of reward. So that's kind of where we're going with this, is I want to teach people how to do what we learned how to do, and I can do it from a different perspective, in the sense that I'm going to show you what we did, and we're still doing it. And we're doing it every day, and we don't plan on changing any of it. The only thing we're planning on doing is expanding. So that's where this SEO stuff comes into play, because we know how to run our business. We know how to run Remove It Pros. And what's funny is, when you're doing business and you're doing it good, what happens is there's a bunch of procedures. There's a bunch of things that you do consistently the same way so that you get the same result. And we have a whole bunch of those. And in those systems, a lot of this stuff is common sense. And common sense is only common sense to somebody who's already had the experience. So if you don't know how to do something, and you can't have, this is my own definition, you can't have common sense about it. In other words, if you don't ever fall off your bike, you don't realize you absolutely don't want to fall off your bike, because you skin your knees and you hurt your feet, and it hurts when you land. So the experience of doing that gives you the common sense not to do that again. So that's my definition of common sense. Now, if you Google it, it's probably something different. So that's it, man. I'm so jacked out of my mind, it's not funny. This search engine optimization stuff, I'm going to turn around and apply it to our YouTube channel. Yesterday I went through 2 more chapters with the book on Majestic, and so disappointed in what they sent me. Within 2 chapters they had duplicate paragraphs. The stuff that I corrected in the limitations that whoever is writing this stuff, they're not listening to the videos that I sent them, and what they're doing is they're editing in their limitations. For example, they call the junk business the trash business. The trash business and the junk business are completely 2 different things in my book. The trash is what you put out to the yard at the curb for the trash people to come and get. It's the gooey stuff, you know. It's the stuff where you have food and things like that in it, and you have stuff that's not reusable in it. Junk to me is stuff that can be reused, like you know, old garbage cans, old furniture, things that are old tools, old machines, stuff like that. That stuff is junk. Junk that could be repurposed. Okay, not all junk can be repurposed. Most junk can be repurposed. It just needs some attention. Normally it's not cost effective to do a lot of that because your time is, you just don't have the time. There's too much time that it takes to fix everything, with the off chance that you may be able to sell it. All right, so what I did yesterday is I edited 2 more of those chapters. I edited what they edited. They edited what I wrote. I edited what they edited. Go figure. And my grammar sucks. And they're using like Grammarly to do this, which this writer, I hired a writer, and I gave her my book, my junk removal book, and it's going to delay it another week or 2. I was happy with it, but I'm not happy with the people putting it together. Okay, they are they're just not doing a good job. So I need them to edit it so that it doesn't sound like just so that I just want to present the best. I want to present it the best way. So I'm going to have her go through it. I just met her. I think that she's going to do a great job. So she's redoing that. I'm going to delay them putting it out. And then she's also going to present it to some companies that are interested in this kind of stuff. I don't know that I want somebody else involved in this stuff. So I might just put it on out with Amazon. So anyway, that's coming along. Here we are at the 15th of November. Blake's telling me he'll be done with the rest of the edits on the book by the end of November, which ain't gonna happen. So at any rate, they're turning stuff around to me, and I'm banging it out, putting it right back out to them. So yesterday we did a bunch of searches. I did all kinds of organic searches, and we are on the front page for virtually every search that we did in all the different areas that we did them in. There were a couple exceptions to that, and I'm going to write articles on that today. I'm going to have Vlad write those. And then we're going to start firing off some of these ads inside of the social media, the same ads that we were writing, basically their posts. And it's just to get more organic reach and to move up the pages. So we're on the pages. A lot of them were not above the fold. And above the fold means what shows up on the computer screen. Like this computer screen in front of me, the fold is, I can see half of the screen. You have to scroll up to see the rest of the half of that particular screen. Well, we're in the lower part of the fold. So now paid wise, I don't know why these things work together, but they do. But paid wise, Google ad wise, when I'm searching these terms, a lot of the places I'm at the top in the paid ad, and I'm down at the bottom as a organic ad. So what I'm doing right now is we're working to move them up. Today, when I opened up my browser, SEMrush does I have all of my keywords in there. There's like 400 of them, and SEMrush gives me an evaluation of how many of these have moved up. And I had a list of over 20 that had moved up significantly, and that whole page, all 20 of them were in the top 10. So that means you're on the front page. Most of them were position 2, 3, 4, or 5, and most of these were long tail keywords. Long tail keywords, if you're not familiar with that, a long term keyword would be like building demolition contractor in Sarasota. Okay, that would be a long-term keyword, a long tail keyword. A short-term keyword would be building or demolition contractor. Okay, so when I put building demolition contractor together, I kind of get to use two sets of keywords, because building demolition is a strong keyword. Demolition contractor is a strong keyword. You put them together, the search engine's going to use it both ways. So that's pretty cool stuff. There's so much to this. This is so excited. I'm so glad that I went ahead and, instead of hiring somebody to do this, I've jumped into it and learned it for myself. And when I get off of this this vlog, I am going to work on, I'm going to jump in and play with the back end of Wincher again, and make sure in SEMrush, and make sure that I'm not missing any certain keywords, because I'm going to get Vlad to work on those and get them ranked. I wrote him out a bunch of stuff the last couple of days for him to work on, and he's been doing that, and we seem to be ranking for all that stuff. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to print off the book table of contents, and I'm going to go ahead and film a bunch of these Remove It Pros Junk Removal University courses. So that's it, man. It's Remove It Pros Demolition, our main channel. This is the Remove It Pros Pure Entrepreneur, and it's basically us growing this company into more markets, into markets all over the state, and then also markets in different stuff we've never done before, like selling books and selling courses on how we do this stuff. And the exciting thing for me is the impact. I want to see people rock and roll with what we've learned. So that's it. I'll see you on the next video.